Hey there, it's me, Levi, from Masculine Intuition Readings, and I'm going to do a video for you guys where I tell you what my top 5 favorite decks are as of now. So why this top 5 video? Because I always love it when people post their top deck videos. And I've been working with a lot of decks in 2020, and this is not a finite top 5, like this may change. So these are in no particular order, so it's a top 5 without a ranking. Well, maybe I can rank the tarots and rank the oracle decks. So in third place, I didn't really think about this before, so I kind of have to wing this right now. Ooh, in third place. In third place, I'm going to put this deck. This is the Art Nouveau Tarot by Matt Myers. This is an out-of-print deck, and I cherish this with all my heart. Once I saw this, I knew I had to have it. This is an old deck, like from the 80s. Old. I'm from the 80s too, so I'm old as well, I guess. And it's a really cool deck. The cardstock, this is a deck by US Games, and this is old school US Games cardstock, so it's really thick. This was printed in Belgium. The size is a little bit different from a normal tarot deck size, but one thing that I love, and you can really see it in the sunlight that's coming through the window here, is that there is this like gold foil inlay on each back of the card, and it's really pretty. Like, it's really skillfully done. And this is a really campy 80s deck. All the guys have long hair or mullets, which I love. I'm very hair envious because I wish I would still have like sexy, long, luscious hair, and if that would still look good, I would totally like rock it. But let me be honest here, the quality of my hair isn't that good anymore, so I'm just not gonna let it grow out. Let me show you some of the most hysterically 80s cards in this deck. For example, this one, the Sun. The Sun looks like He-Man and the Master of the Universe meets Tarot meets Dungeons and Dragons. I love it. The Magician, also with long, luscious locks. Love it. And then the Knight of Coins. Long, luscious locks, kind of got a mullet going on. This deck is so incredibly 80s, I don't even know where to begin. And it's also like kind of sexy, and I kind of like sexy decks. For example, I'm a very big fan of the St. Jinx Arcana, which I don't own yet, but I'm definitely gonna order. But the craftsmanship in this deck is really good. The Lover's card is gorgeous. And then for the Miners, the style completely changes and it turns into a stained glass style deck. So all the Miners have this stained glass style with like couples, and it's basically, oh, you can see that right here. That's really interesting. Oh no, I don't really have like a follow-up, but sort of kind of like. So it follows the story. So I have the 6 and the 8th here, and the 7 should be in between, and it's a continuing story. So I think he did that really cleverly. I love this deck. I adore it. My number 2, this is really hard because I love him all so much. This is the Barbara Walker Tarot in a tin. So this is not the original vintage version, and I was kind of bummed out by that till I saw a side-by-side comparison, and I found out that the original is about the same size. The Barbara Walker Tarot is from the 70s or the 80s. Let me check real quick. Can see that right now. 80s, yes. And this is a really weird deck. It has keywords. It's kind of thothy. And it has this like theme of deities and gods and goddesses from all over the world, all kinds of mythologies. So that's actually really interesting. Let me show you some cards. They're really like creepy. This is very much a Halloween type, shadow work type deck. So I'll show you some cards. The Three of Wands, the Prince of Swords. Oh yeah, here you can see with the court cards, they all have deities that are connected to them. So this is Tyr, Norse god. The Magician is fairly traditional, but all the other cards are fairly like untraditional. Like, I love it, and I love that it's so bold color-wise. Like, I see a lot of YouTubers using decks and they're like, oh, this is so pretty, oh my god, and they're very like soft, watercolory, pencil sketched, and if you like that, that's cool. I love things like this, and I love things like this, and you know, like really like striking dark art that's really thought-provoking and not necessarily all shits and giggles. I really like shadowy types of decks. And then for my number one, and you guys are all gonna think that this is some really expensive vintage or indie deck. Actually, it's not. It's a mass market deck that you can get right now, and it's cheap as hell. The Millennium Filth by Renata Lechner. Renata Lechner is a really cool artist. She has 3 decks out now. The Thelema, hope I'm saying that right, Arcanum Tarot, and the Millennium Filth. But it's a really sexy deck, kind of. It is very much a Thoth deck, but it is Renata's spin on things. So Thoth, whatever you want to call it. Purists are not necessarily all gonna like this, but I like that it's a modern take on Lady Frida Harris's artwork. I really love it. I love the cardstock. A lot of people hate Los Scarabeo cardstock. I love it. And she used like really cute looking people for as models, because this is very much a digital photography mixed with illustrations type of deck. And I really like it. But this is really cool. Like, look at that. Look at that moon. Oh, gorgeous. And then there are some gorgeous minors too, like this Two of Pentacles and this Prince of Cups. Absolutely lovely and adorable, and I like this deck because the cardstock is good. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's not too glossy, it's not too matte. It's very practical. The box is nice. I really resonate. The artwork really resonates with me, and that's why I love it. And I have 2 Oracle decks here, and one of them I have is pretty new, and it is the Pathfinder Oracle deck by Skull Garden Andrew Schwartz. I got it like in a bundle. I was like, I really hope I liked it. I'm going to like this. And I did a flip through for myself of the full deck, and I was like, how would I associate this symbol with that side of the card, because each side has its own meaning. Let's see. Positive, negative, active, and passive. I don't know if you can see that right there. So positive, and below is negative, and this is active, and the one on the other side is passive. So I did a flip through, and I was like, practice, intuitive reading, don't check the guidebook. And I went through all these cards, and I found it very easy to read with them. Like, these symbols, for some reason, really speak to me. The cards are absolutely gorgeous. I love the way he painted these. I love all his work. Andrew Schwartz is like the penultimate modern day esoteric artist for me. So yeah, it was actually quite easy to come up with like meanings, and then sometimes I would check the guidebook because there were some cards where it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know if this makes sense, and then totally did make sense. It's very, I'm a Taurus, so I'm very earthy, and this is a very earthy, down-to-earth, spiritual deck, which I love. Like, I love shit like that. I don't resonate, for example, I don't resonate with really high vibe starseed stuff. Mercury Light Oracle, Starseed Oracle, Star Child Tarot, Moon Child Tarot, The Universe Has Got Your Back, Affirmation. It's not really for me. This is really for me, like that earthy, mystical vibe. And then for my final deck, my ultimate favorite Oracle deck, the Threads of Fate, and I have the Shadow Edition. They have a new edition out right now. It's called the Lumen, but I'm really glad that I have this. And this is the penultimate Oracle deck for me. It has crystal magic, it has herbal magic, it has animal magic, it has archetypes. If you want to get into divination and you're like, I don't want to learn the tarot yet, but I do know that I have like this urge to work with my intuition for myself and for others, which I personally had, I'd say go get an Oracle deck. It doesn't even have to be this one, but this is actually a really good Oracle deck for beginners too, but it is fairly expensive. But get a mass market Oracle deck and that resonates with you, and start practicing with that. So if you want to ease yourself into it, of course, the reason why I like this too is because it's really nice and shiny. It has great keywords. I like Oracle decks that I really associate with the imagery, like the other one that I just showed you, the Pathfinder, or even better, when there are keywords on the cards where I'm kind of like, yes, this makes sense. Yes, I can string these words together to form a sentence, because my intuition is sparked more by words rather than images. And a lot of people have that the other way around, where they're like, yes, this image is telling me this, and I'm only just starting to get into that. But I never really had that, and I really am a reader in the sense of literally reading words, and that sparks my intuition, and that starts this stream of consciousness that's happening and going on. And this is an amazing deck. For example, this is one of my favorite cards. If you're doubting whether or not you want to check out this deck, if you're doubting that, whether or not you want to buy the Threads of Fate Oracle, you can go to the Threads of Fate website, and you can download the guidebook for this Oracle deck on there, and you can scroll through the cards and see what they have to say and see what the meanings are and what they're working with, and base your decision on that. So yeah, those were my favorite decks. So for tarot, that was Art Nouveau, Barbara Walker Tarot in a Tin, and the Millennium Filth. And for Oracle, that was the Pathfinder Oracle by Andrew Schwartz and the Threads of Fate Oracle by Threads of Fate. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to get a notification whenever I put new videos up, subscribe and hit that bell, and I'll see you guys later.